Can you call me later? Yeah. Yes, good morning, everyone. In the last session, we have discussed about the concept of SQL to queries. Okay, so how to write the SQL to queries inside AEM. And then in this session, we'll discuss about the concept of events. So in this session, we'll discuss about the concept of events, how to create the events, and what are the different types of events we are having inside AEM. So basically, event is nothing but an function that is internally going on inside AEM. Okay, so maybe we have created a page, okay, or we have created a component, modified a component, or modified a page. Okay, so any content or any action you are performing inside the repository, which is JCR repository. So at that case, internally it will trigger one event. Okay, maybe you have created a page, or you have modified a content inside a page, or we have published a page inside AEM. So every event we are having, so we can track them with the help of the event handlers. So internally inside the JCR repository, every whatever the action we are performing, so they will internally call one event, and those whenever the event is called, so we can perform some logic. So with the instead of maybe consider a page is published. Okay, so whenever we are created and we have published one page. So whenever the page is published, inside that page we want to add one property. Okay, so inside the properties of the page we have to add one property, maybe published true or publication has been done. So one property we have to add. So in order to add that property, so at that case what we can perform, so we can directly whenever the page is published, you can manually go and inside whenever it is manually done. So at that case, what you can do is you can perform that action. But if you are going manually and entering the property, so if you are having a lot of pages published at the same time, so then you might miss that pages, right? So in order to not to miss anything, okay. So internally with the help of the event handlers, so we can easily perform that action. So when an event performs, so automatically we can execute that task. So event is nothing but maybe a mouse click, or maybe so if you click on if you go for a general way, maybe there is a button. Okay, so if you have clicked on that button, so then one event occurs. So similarly inside AEM, when I create a page inside AEM, or when I replicate a page inside AEM, or you have created a component, or you have modified a node inside the repository. So internally everything will call an event. Okay, so internally everything, every action inside the repository will trigger one event, and with the help of the event handlers, whatever the events that are triggered, so we can activate that event. Okay, so we can handle that events, we can capture that events, and then we can perform some logic. So always this event handlers input should be, so ORG service event should be the input, and we have to implement this event handler interface. Okay, so with the help of this event handler interface, I can listen to all the events in the repository. And if I want to perform any action, so then inside the handle event method, I can perform the action. So here we have the event object. So this event object basically it can listen to this event object, basically it can listen to whatever the event that has occurred. So all the properties will be stored inside this event object, and we can perform that action. So we can listen to different types of events when it comes to this event handler. So before discussing what types of events we can handle with the help of the event handler, so this is how you have to implement your event handler interface. So first you'll be creating a normal class, and once you create a normal class, we have to implement this event handler interface. So every time when you want to perform that action, so then you have to implement this event handler interface. So once you implement this event handler interface, so we have to override. Okay, so internally it has one method, that is handle event method, and we have to override that handle event method. Okay, so whatever the logic I want to write whenever the event has been occurred, so that entire logic you will be writing inside the handle event method. Okay, so inside this handle event method, we have one parameter. So event is one parameter it is accepting. So this event parameter will come from whatever the type of event we are trying to execute. Okay, so that even whenever that when that particular event has been executed, so at that case it will try to perform this action. So that is the main use of that is the main use of event handler interface. Okay, so how to write the events? So we can handle different types of events. Okay, so we have different types of events we can handle, and one of those events are, so suppose if you want to listen to the page events. Okay, so we have different page events we can listen, dam events we can listen, replication events we can listen, and workflow events also we can listen. So when we create a workflow, when we start a workflow, so automatically workflow events as well we can listen. So page events are, so with the help of this with the help of this event topic, okay, so which is a constant value. So this event topic contains the value of com/day CQ core page. Okay, so this is an event ID. Okay, so with the help of this event ID, I can listen to an event in AEM. Okay, so this is the event ID you have to remember. So instead of remembering this event ID, so which is a constant value, you can directly use one variable. So inside that variable, you have the same event ID only. You can just simply go for that variable. So if you want to listen to the page level events, so then com dot day dot. So this is the event topic, com day uh, CQ WCM API page events dot event topic. So this is the event topic, and this is the event ID where it will listen to all the page level events. Okay. So page created, page deleted, page modified. So all the page level events if you want to perform. So then with the help of the page events, you can perform an action. And second one, we are having DAM events. So digital asset management events. Okay. So this is the event topic, and then this is the constant ID we are having. So with the help of the constant ID, you can listen to the events with the help of this ID. You can internally listen to the events what action it is performing. Okay, so if you are going for the digital asset event, maybe renditions has been occurred, or maybe a version created, or maybe if you are going for an asset has been uploaded, asset has been deleted, asset has been modified. So all these events you can trigger with the help of the them events. Okay, and so and the third one we are having the replication events. So replication events is nothing but so page activation and deactivation. So whenever we publish the page, then activation will occur, and whenever we deactivate the page, and deactivation will be occurred internally. So if you want to listen to the replication events, that means when a page is published, if I want to listen to that events, so then with the help of the with the help of the replication events, you can easily listen to that. So com.day.cq.replication action dot event topic, and this is the event ID where you can listen to the replication event. So as a part of with the help of this event constants dot event topic, so basically we can listen to page activated, page deactivated. Okay, so these are the two events I can listen as a part of the replication events. Maybe after that we are having workflow. So maybe workflow has been started. So workflow is in a particular step. So at that case as well, so maybe consider a page is published. Okay. So when a page is published, so automatically I have to listen to those things. Okay. So when a page is published, automatically I have to listen to those uh, things, and I want to internally trigger a workflow. Maybe consider what we want to do is, so a page is when someone user is trying to publish a page, so then it should start this workflow. Okay, so in the workflow as well, we can directly handle it. So whenever the workflow events, if you want to trigger, so then this with the help of this event topic and with the help of the event ID, you can listen to the workflow events. Okay. Uh, that is what this things. So these are the page level events, DAM events, replication events, and workflow. Suppose if I want to listen to the bundle events, so OSGA bundle life cycle we are having, right? So if you want to listen to the OSGA bundle events, so then these are the IDs to listen to the OSGA bundle events. Okay, so ORG OSGA framework bundle event installed, resolved, start, unresolved, updated, stopped, and uninstalled. So these are the bundle events which we can trigger. So instead of so unresolved will be resolved, unresolved. So these are the different things we can listen. So as a part of the bundle events. So if you want to listen to the OSGS service events, like accurate, like active, activated, deactivated, and then modified. So if you want to listen to these things, so like registered and unregistered. So every time whenever we are creating a class, first the OSGS service should be registered. So before going into the activation and deactivation process, so first we have to check whether the class is registered or not. So when the class is registered only as an OSGA component, so then the actions will be performed, activate or deactivated. Okay. So every time whenever the bundle goes into the active state, so at that case the class will be registered. Okay, so when the bundle gets deployed into the EM instance, so then it will get registered, and when the bundle is removed from the EM instance, so at that case it will unregistered. Okay, so after that, whenever the bundle is modified, so then with the help of the this event, we can check the modified event as well. So are the OSGF framework service event modified also we can check. So these are the events of the so basically, these are the events which belongs to the OSGI events, bundle events, and the service events. And then we are also having the framework events. So AEM framework event, AEM OSGI framework events also we can start. So when the Felix container has been started, or when the has been packages are refreshed, or start level has been changed. So any warning or info messages are coming. So then also we can easily listen to these events with the help of the framework events. So as a part of this one, we can also listen to the resource level events. Okay, so resource level events also we can listen, but these are not part. Currently, these resource level events has been deprecated. So with the help of the event handlers, we can't listen to the resource level events. Okay, so these are the only events we can easily listen with the help of the event handlers. So page events, DAM events, replication events, workflow events, bundle events. So all these events we can listen as a part of the AEM event handler. So if you want to create an event handler, so this is the flow we have to follow in order to create an event handler. So we'll just try to create. So always the input should be org OSGI service event, and for the event handler as well. So org OSGI service event handler should be the input. Okay. So just try to create an event handler. Uh, so here already the package is available. So you can just go inside that package and you can create an. So inside the core and then we'll get this view. Okay, so inside the core we have an option of listeners. Okay, so inside this listeners you can create an event handler. So right click on it, new Java class, and we'll give the name as event page. Page replication event handler is one thing we are having. Okay, so every time whenever we are implementing this normal Java class, first we have to, as we are implementing the event handlers, so first we have to implement the event handler interface. So implement event handler. So always the input should be org OSGS service event handler should be the import. And once you have imported it, as it is an interface contains the abstract method, and we have to override that abstract method and provide the implementation. So you can just go here and then add the unimplemented methods. So here you are having the unimplemented method you are having here. So handle event method we are having here. Okay. So now this is a normal Java class. Okay, so after implementing event handler, so this becomes an event class, but still it is a normal Java class. So we have to convert this normal Java class into an OSGI component. We have to convert this into an OSGI service. So in order to convert into an OSGI service, so we'll go for the same thing. So at that component is the annotation we are having. And then here service is one parameter we have to pass. service is equals to event handler dot class. Okay, and then immediately after deployment I want to execute, so immediate equals to true is the property we have to give, so immediate equals to true. Okay, so these are the functionality you have to write. Okay, so right now what we have done is we have just created a component, and as a part of the component we have passed these parameters. So either immediate equals to true or the event handlers. But if you want to listen to the events, so then we have to write these event IDs. So with the help of these event IDs only we can perform that action. Okay, so in order to write these event IDs, so in order to perform the event actions here, so how we can do that? So here internally we have to pass one a parameter which is property. So inside that property parameter, you can specify the event topics and the event IDs. So property, and inside this property we have to pass the values. So whenever we are passing these values, we have multiple options to pass the values. Okay, so we can either pass whatever the ID we are having, so we can pass the ID as statically as well. So this is the ID. So com dot day dot so we are going for a replication event, right? So this is the replication action we are having. So you can just simply copy this replication action, so or else you can type it manually. So com.day.replication action dot event topic. So here we can specify the value. So plus equals to and plus or else here you can specify equals to, and then here internally you can pass this value. So which is nothing but com.day.cq.replication is the value we can pass. Com.day.cq.replication. So replication is the value you can pass. It will accept this one. So just use plus and then plus. Okay, but if you are going so yeah, we'll be not following this approach. So basically if you are going with this way, so you are hard coding the value. So whatever you can see here, so this is a hard coded value but still it works up. Okay, so but instead of going for this hard coded ID, so it was configured inside a variable, and inside that variable you can easily perform that action. Okay, so it here also you'll have the same functionality. So for that you have to call event constants. Okay, so event constants dot event topic we have to specify. So event constants dot event topic. So whatever the value we are specifying, so org OSGS service event dot event constants only, the value will be there. So here we have to specify the event topic. So in order to specify the event topic, so simply we can use like simply you can use like this. So event constants dot event topic. So mention that inside the double quotes. Okay. Um, syntax error. Delete this to so event constants dot event topic. So this event constants will contain the value of the event ID, and then here you'll contain the event topic. So whatever the event topic we want to call, so that is the event topic we are having. So automatically when this event has been occurred, so then inside this event object, whatever the event object we are having, so inside that event object you will be having this one. Okay. So right now what we want to execute is we want to execute the replication events. Okay, so with the help of the replication events, I want to perform that action. So in order to listen to the replication events, so replication events dot event topic is one we have to pass. Okay, so we have to pass a plus in the double quotes equals to and use an plus here. So after that, here you have to pass the replication events. Okay, so in order to get the replication events, so replication action, no save. Dot event topic. Okay, so replication action dot event topic. So if you observe this replication action, so com dot day dot cq dot replication action. So this is nothing but the ID we are having. So com dot day dot cq dot replication action. So instead of hard coding this value, so this value will be available inside this inside this constant term replication action, and with the help of this replication action we'll be converting that into an ID. Okay, so this is the ID, and then this is the event topic com dot day dot cq dot replication is the event topic. So right now what we can perform is, so once we have got this replication event topic, so what we are trying to do is we are actually executing whatever the action we want to perform when the page is published or page is modified, when the page is activated or deactivated. So at this case, it will perform both the actions. So whatever the event we have specified, so this actually gets the both the things. Okay, so from the entire repository. Okay, so in the entire repository, irrespective of the pages you are searching, so for the entire repository, this event will be occurred. But we want to pass the event for a particular path only. Okay, so in order to pass the events for a particular path, so then we have to specify what type of events we have to execute. Okay, on which path we have to execute, you have to specify. So in order to specify that one, so here we are having event constants dot event filters or event underscore. Okay, UVMT underscore filters. Event constants. The attribute was undefined. Yeah, so just use an comma here. Okay, so event constants dot event filters. You have to use. Okay, so event filter is the one we have to use, and here inside this event filter, we have to pass a value. So which is nothing but what is the filter I want to perform. So inside this one, inside this filter, you can perform the action actually. Okay, so inside this action, what I'll perform is I'll perform an AND operation. Okay, so I want to write two conditions. Okay, so inside these two conditions, in between these two conditions, I want to perform some AND operation, logical AND operation I want to perform. That is, both the conditions are true, I want to perform. So at that case, here you will be specifying the symbol of ampersand. Okay. Um, so right now what I want to perform is, so this replication event, whatever the replication action event I'm having, so this replication action event will perform two logics. Okay. So first it will perform activation and deactivation. But in this case, I want to perform only activate event. Okay. So to perform only activate event, so here we have to mention type is equals to activate. Okay, so whenever the page is activated, so then only I have to perform the action, and then here you have to specify one more thing is path you have to specify. So this path is nothing but whatever the pages you want to occur. Okay, so in which page I want to execute this one, so that path you have to specify. So for that path, you can go to the CRXT, and inside the CRXT, get your project path. Okay, so if I go inside the content, my weekend, sorry, go inside the content folder. So content, my weekend US. Okay, so under US, whatever the child pages we are having. Okay, so for all the child pages, I want to perform that action. So under this UST, all the pages I want to perform that action. So that's why path is equals to in the double quotes you have to specify the path. Sorry. Okay, and then star you have to append. So star is nothing but the special symbol. Okay, so star is nothing but the special character you are using it. So because why we want to use this star at the end, because so whatever the path we have given, this is a parent path. Okay, right? Content weekend US is a parent path. So US is not actually not a page. So it redirects to the EN page only. Okay. So when you are going for this one, so internally whenever we are triggering this, whenever we want to perform that action, so not only for the US page, so internally all the child pages, whatever the child pages we are having, so internally for all the child pages, I want to trigger this event. So which is nothing but content my weekend US and then start. So whatever the child pages that are there under US, so and then all the child pages, this event will be occurred. So that is what you can do with the help of. So that is what you can do with the help of the event IDs. Okay. So just content we tell. path. Okay. So right now type is equals to activate and path is equals to content we retail, weekend, US and EN. So until this one, so this will be considered as an path. So type is activate and then this will be the path here. So right now, whenever internally we are triggering this event, so this entire event will be part of the event object. So here we are having the event object and this event object will capture the entire thing. Okay, so in order to perform whether this handle event method is executing or not, so we'll just write a simple log statement. So with the help of the log statement, we'll check whether the handle event is executing or not. So private static final logger or JSLF 4J logger and log is equals to logger factory dot get logger and then we'll be going for the logger factory dot get logger and then we'll be going for the this class. Okay, so this class we have to write the logger dot class. Okay, so inside this one we'll write a simple message. So log.info and then inside the handle page activation event handler class. So we'll just first perform this action and later that once the event has been triggered, so then we'll see what does this event object contains and what else we can do with the help of this event object. Okay, so first deploy your changes. So ambient clean install minus p auto install single package. To perform this action as a part of this also which will be going towards the also just check the routing ones and see if it's necessary to advance it. Yeah. So now just open the error.log file and inside the error.log file try to check the events. Error.log and go to any page so which is inside my weekend Marvel and EN. Okay, so I'll just go to their sites console and publish the Marvel page. Sites and then my weekend US and then here we are having a Marvel. So just click on quick publish. Okay, so publication is in pending. So internally still it should trigger the event. We try to close the notepad. So replication, custom replication. So this is custom replication. So similarly, activate content and we retail activities running replication activate. Just try to check with the class name. So you are having the class name, right? So just page activation, page replication event handler. Just copy this class name and inside the console, just check with it. Okay. So now it says replication event handler and inside invalid event filter. So ignoring service reference, org service event handler, missing opening parenthesis, type is equals to activate, and this is the second parenthesis. Okay, so type is equals to activate and path, and then we're having activate. So these are the two events we are having. Use event handler for event admin, invalid event filter. So ignoring the service reference. This plus so it is having three parameters. Property, and inside the property we are having type. This one is good. Else- Or else you'll only check with the path instead of having the activation. No. Just go to the page again and try to publish the page. Publish and then go to the logs and try to search for the class. Service event unregistered, service event registered, invalid event filter ignoring the services. So bundle internal invalid syntax exception missing open parenthesis. So plus path is equals to content variable. You have to get the test paths. It is an issue with the missing open parenthesis. Even constants dot event filter, and then we are having the filter paths is equals to content weekend usn en. Okay. So this one will be for the paths. Just try to deploy it again. Watch is equals to content we can do this. Publish, click on publish, and then for application. Connection refused to connect to content we retail US in ES. So we are replicating a Marvel partitions. Sending the message. Service event after you start service valid filter. So this is service. Property dot even constants and then handle even. Else we'll check that without the filter not works. Okay, so right now it is executed. So inside the handle event method of replication class, and after that, so inside the handle event. So maybe in the queue, all the pages what are there. So every time it is trying, so it will try to get this inside the log file. So once it is in the log file, so whatever the data we are having, so once the condition enters inside this handle event method has occurred, right? So once the replication activation event has occurred, so whatever the data we are having, so the data will be entered stored inside this event object. Okay. So maybe if I want to get the names of that events, okay, so for which paths, or I want to retrieve the paths where the data has been stored. So inside this event object, so get properties is one method we are having. So get property names. So where it will return the object of the So if I'm assigning a new field, because it can be more than one, right? So it will return an object in the form of a string. It will return the form of an array. So if you observe here, the array has been created here, will directly create in this case. Okay. So right now, whatever the data that is event dot get property names is returning. So it can be more than one property, right? So for that one property, it is returning in the form of an array. So if I want to if I want to get the individual values, so then you can manually, then you can iterate this array with the help of a for each loop. So for every time when a property name, when one single property gets from multiple properties, so instead of property name, we'll get that as an properties. Yes, properties. Okay, so from multiple properties, I'll get a single property and I'll store inside the property variable. Okay, so once I've got these properties, from inside these properties, I'll fetch the value. So log.info replicated page. So replicated page is a property we are having, and then inside this replicated page, I want to print the data. So where I'll get the event. Okay, so event will print the event data. So event dot get property from the properties. Okay, so from the properties, it will get the property name and then it will store inside this particular one. So inside the event, whenever you want to perform the action, when the event has been occurred, so all the data will be inside this event object and whatever the information you want to get. So from the event object, you can retrieve that particular information. So let's try to deploy it again and clear the logs as well as clear the replication queue as well. Okay. So once it's deployed, so just go to there and try to replicate a page. Okay. So inside this one, the page handler event. So this whatever the event topic dot get property. So this method is returning inside the entire information. Okay. So get property. The property type is activate. Okay. And then who replicated this page? So admin has replicated this page because the current login user is admin. And then content my weekend USN is the path. And then this is the replicated page com.day.cq.replicate handle event method of replication because we have replicated two pages. So en page we have replicated and then Marvel page we have replicated. So whatever the pages you want to, whenever we are replicating, so if you want to trigger if you want to trigger the event and if you want to perform the action, so then with the help of the event handlers, we can perform that action. Okay. Okay, so with the help of the replication actions, you can perform that action. So for every time it will try to replicate, right? So that's why it is throwing inside the log messages. Right now, the current path is not in the log state, so that's why the publish page is not in the active state publish server. So that's why it is trying to activate again and again. So these are the paths which is trying to